I've been basking in it for the last 30 minutes. My God. I feel like a seafront village after the Vikings have left.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Feel, don't think.
Fear is my ally.
The Force will be with you.
We are encouraged to love. Be mindful of your thoughts.
I will not betray the Republic.
Hey, your worship, I'm only trying to help.
Scruffy-looking nerf herder.
I'm not afraid.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
So, yesterday, Cameron got a scoop from our intrepid Sparrow about two things. The CEO search, which appeared in the industry rags. Bob Iger talked about it, and there's some other stories which I'll get into. And also the Acolyte, but first let's talk about the CEO search. So, Disney Board Committee to find Bob Iger's CEO successor will be led by Morgan Stanley's James Gorman. I don't know if this is a good choice or not. I don't know. But here's the scoop. They're no longer, it seems, to be looking inside the Disney Corporation for someone to take over the reins of the Walt Disney Company from Bob Iger. I don't know where they're looking. I don't think anybody really does. But Josh D'Amaro is no longer in the running. He has not done a great job with running the parks. And the CFO is no longer in the running. The thing about it is both Dana Walden and Alan Bergman had been named as potential CEOs, heirs apparent, and their names never came up, so who knows? But they're trying to find a successor outside the company. And it's interesting because there is somebody inside the company who'd like to be considered. And wait till you find out who it is. It's literally the last person, I would think, on the planet that would be allowed anywhere near running the Walt Disney Company. No, it's, sorry. It's not Kathleen Kennedy, okay? She wouldn't be considered anyway. All right, the Greeks came up with, have a term, the Greeks do, and it's hubris. And in the ancient Greek language, it means pretensions to the gods. If someone's got a lot of hubris, they have a false notion of how awesome they are. And Kevin Feige is the person who thinks he should be CEO of the Walt Disney Company based solely on the success of Deadpool and Wolverine, which wasn't his success. It was Ryan Reynolds and the Fox executives with him, okay? But Feige's been taking victory laps around everybody. And, you know, there are some people saying he wants to leave the Walt Disney Company. There are some people saying Iger would like to get rid of him, that his head's on the chopping block. You know, I don't think Feige's position is as bad as Kennedy's. I mean, Kennedy's not there anymore, period. She's just not. She fucked up long enough, you know what I mean? And, but we've got Kevin Feige, full of his overinflated sense of self and worth, throwing his name into the ring as CEO. It'll never happen. They would be crazy to do it. And the guy has proven over and over again with the Eternals, Shang-Chi, the Marvels, that he is incapable of running Marvel Studios in the way it should be run in order to bring people to the films. he just, you know, he got himself where he got himself. And when the people who were actually really good at doing it, Jon Favreau, left, he fucked up, okay? He throws, you know, Victoria Alonso under the bus, but still, I mean, really, it's mystifying, but not mystifying as to why this guy thinks he's good enough to be the CEO of the Walt Disney Company. Obviously, he's unaware. But let's talk about the Acolyte.
This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen. With the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place. This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force. Do not return to the temple. That time has passed. And our future is uncertain. We will each be challenged. Our trust, our faith, our friendships. But we must persevere. And in time, a new hope will emerge. May the Force be with you, always.
What's going on with canceling the Acolyte? Well, it's not getting a season 2. Too bad, so sad. It's not going anywhere. And that's the first thing that's absolutely sent the activists like Rachel Leishman for the Mary Sue and others into full-blown screaming fits. Second of all, the merchandise had been removed and then it appeared back in the Disney Plus store. However, it's just t-shirts. Okay, so really, it's not a big deal. Either way, it's going to end up at Ollie's or in the dump. Okay. The activists started a petition to, quote-unquote, save the Acolyte. Now, I want to explain something to you. If you ever look at a change.org petition, they're never taken seriously by any company. Never. Ever, ever, ever. I've never seen any of these petitions ever do any good for any reason. It's just a place for people that are angry to lash out and to get their feelings out there. Okay, because fifis are everything. It's a place for people, whoever this was from Bounding Into Comics, found this girl, cancellation of the Acolyte blaming cancellation on the Acolyte on everything but ratings. I'm really tired of sharing the franchise I love with toxic, misogynistic, immature racists. Okay, first off, this is what happened. Once Kennedy showed up and she started to allow the awakening the ambitioning of the franchise by allowing J.J. Abrams and Ryan Johnson in and allowing Pablo Hidalgo to attack the fans. People like this felt empowered. They had never been Star Wars fans before, but the moment they saw Adam Driver shirtless, it was like these girls, these cat ladies, these miserable feminazi cat ladies who, in their wildest dreams, could never imagine Hollywood back in the day when actual real men, or appeared to be real men, like Steve McQueen and others, were the leading men. Harrison Ford. All right. There was no one like him. He had his own sort of brand. And they had to make shit up. We are dealing with people who look at their headcanon as actual canon. Now, we do it on our side. I could name a yoga teacher who has her own headcanon. And, Ryan Cannell has his headcanon. And a lot of people do it to some extent. Demanding that what they want is the only thing that Star Wars should be. These people do the same thing. They came into the franchise and started trying to bully us out. And they were led by people like, Jason Ward, Steele Saunders, and other malignant asswipes. Okay. And a lot of people left. I mean, look, when Gina Carano was canceled by Kathleen Kennedy over Kennedy blowing the racist or the anti-Semitic dog whistle, Chewbacca left, allowing people like the woman screaming about toxic masculinity and misogyny and all the rest of this shit that's not true to win. You don't let a bully win. Instead of being the kid allowing yourself to get the shit kicked out of you, turn into Ralph Parker, jump on Scott Farkas, and beat the shit out of him. All right? That's what you do. These people are bullies. Now they're trying to use change.org and a petition. Let me remind everybody, that's not real. The only real thing are the ratings, and they were in the dump. They were in the dump heap. Okay, 18% as of yesterday, Rotten Tomatoes score. Okay, and these are real. That's a real number. Okay, that's a real number. And there are people out there who don't understand that. They really don't get it. And it's like, you kind of just look at them and go, I don't know what to tell you. I really, really don't. I mean, they want what they want. They have a narcissistic, their narcissism needs a supply. They demand validation at every corner. And if you don't validate them, they try to shame you and to bully you into doing that. And they're not getting their narcissistic supply needs met if the Acolyte doesn't get a second season. And that's what's going on here. They're not Star Wars fans. These people who came in 2015 and started ransacking the joint and chasing people out and making up shit about characters that was never true, and then being allowed to make that up by Ryan Johnson, who is obviously addicted to Tumblr, and the Tumblrinas there. They were allowed to do it. They were allowed to chase people off. The Reylos, the Han Solo haters, the Luke Skywalker haters, the lesbo dykes who needed validation instead of getting their own fucking validation on their own by looking in the mirror every day. This is Leslie Headland's problem. She needs you to acknowledge her. When you have an angry BIPOC like Amanda Stenberg screaming racism, she doesn't think she's ever been seen before. This is the bullshit that we have to contend with. Okay, this is the garbage. And we've been doing it since 2015. We've put up with it since 2015. And part of the reason why I got into YouTube was to put an end to it. Okay, so what's going on is Lucasfilm is seriously thinking about having Disney Plus remove the Acolyte from Disney Plus, and Disney is more than happy to entertain that. Why? Because the Acolyte is a fucking failure, like every other fucking woke pile of garbage is. It doesn't work. It's garbage. And they can't tolerate it. So instead of saying, yeah, it wasn't very good, they blame you and me. Not the fact that it wasn't, no one watched it and people were offended by it. And, they're not learning all the right lessons. Failure is your greatest lesson. Luke Skywalker teaches us that. All right? This is Steph, signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.
Oh my God.